Greetings.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, yes. Please proceed.
Yes. Thank you. On behalf of our nation, um, challenges and risks. One of the challenges for emerging technologies is admitting to a serious software programming error. Black means pale in Old English. Currently, the computer sees hashtag 6 zeros. White, as defined by computer programming code, is hashtag 6 Fs. White also means a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, as defined by the Center for Disease Control, ACRO, U.S. Department of Education. This programming error must be corrected immediately. The legal maxim is Black has no standing at law. With facial recognition technology biased toward darker skin complexions, human rights abuses will potentially happen by current and emerging technology. Black is not even defined in Black's Law Dictionary. How and who will punish a computer for violating human rights? What is a computer punishment for violating human rights? How will the courts enforce this? Can they enforce punishment against a computer for violation of human rights? Currently, human neurons and human aura energy are being stolen by Wi-Fi body area networks with the full knowledge of government examples, Canada's knowledge of biodivergence happening now. What is the remedy? Tauhat to the Nitiru. Thank you for all participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is international recognition. And this intervention I did, which is extremely short, as you can see, ends up being the thumbnail for this. So for those of you that have any questions that are come on for the first time, now is the opportunity. We have the knowledge, we have the recognition, because this is one of the themes for the second decade for people of African descent: recognition, justice, and development. So we have the recognition, and what I'm teaching here is what I'm telling the United Nations. So let me go to pale supremacy. Yeah, because the tab crashed when I tried to pull it up. So pale supremacy, this is what we're seeing. The universe is dark. They want to make the universe pale. That's a fact. This is why they overturned Roe versus Wade, because they don't want these Amorite women, especially, they know their numbers are falling. The sperm count for Amorite males, you call them Caucasian, but they're not. They're Amorites. Their sperm count is dropping. So they're not going to be able to reproduce within the next 5 to 10 years. So now in those cases where a woman gets pregnant, they overturn Roe versus Wade to prevent these women from aborting, not for women's rights. So this is racism equals pale supremacy. Now I gave this to W3C. They are the ones, that's an international organization that they set the programming protocols for all technology on the planet. So I just wanted you to see that, and I'm going to go to the email that I sent to W3C and the response that I got. So for you new people, just go ahead, put your questions in the chat or use the toggle feature and raise your hand, and I'll answer any questions that you have. So we're moving into a very technological world, and claiming the word Black is a death sentence. Now what? Okay, yeah, W3C. Now they don't want to show. That's funny. Okay, so if I go pale supremacy. Yeah, none of my search parameters are coming up here. This is interesting. Yeah, I'll just enter. There we go. Yeah, Timnit. Oh, tension W3C. Okay. That was the subject. Tension W3C. Architecture and technology. Yeah, I really don't like these algorithms on Google. So here we go. So this is a email I sent them. Wow, 2021 on March 27th at 4:19 p.m. Gregorian date and time. What is the format or process for submitting a protocol to W3C? I attached my leopard supremacy definition, which is on file with the United Nations. This is a programming error that affects all computers and future technology on and off the planet. Much appreciated for your time and consideration. See official updated leopard mutant supremacy definition attached. So I did leopard supremacy, mutant supremacy, pale supremacy. They're all the same. It's just like 1 year we're like, oh yeah, leopards. That's the first thing they got to tell you is that they're a leopard. Then it goes into a mutant and then paleness. So racism, leopard supremacy is a local, national, international, global solar system, galaxy, matrix, 3D holographic, illusionary, computer, electrical, science, commercial slash economic, entertainment, educational, military, industrial, power, system construct, and dynamic, structured and maintained by lepers, albinos, albinism, Neanderthals, Tamahu, genetically recessive beings in association with other non-planetary, multidimensional, and interplanetary entities for the ultimate purpose of leper, albino, albinism, Neanderthal, Tamahu genetic survival, and to prevent leper genetic annihilation on the planet called Earth. Correct syntax is Tiamat, Ta, Zurukaya, or Kai. Note, the Tamahu, that's what they really are. That's what we called them in ancient Egypt. The Tamahu cannot find peace on Earth or peace on Tiamat, for they are the sons of Canaan, and Azazel, who people call the devil, had made his home originally on Rum, which is Titan in English, which is a planet of Saturn, for he is not of this planet, an extraterrestrial. This is in Holy Tablets, chapter 6, tablet 6, verse 122. So that's just a brief synopsis of pale supremacy. So this is what they got. And we're going to go down to a picture. Oh, so I'm going to have to download it. Okay, 9. There we go. Now, this is the problem that Joy Bulamwini, Temnit Gebru, who used to work at Google, they're not getting, they're talking all this computer stuff, but they're not linking up the computer coding properly with the language. I'm just going to open this up here real quick. So when you see this picture, this is what I mean by facial recognition technology. And it is important to realize you can't stay hidden anymore. You have to publish what your race and ethnicity is all times. And if you're not going to do it, if you're the type of person that wants to be private and shy, there's no privacy, you can stay, then this is not for you. This is what you have to do to put out as a protection for yourself, that if you get into a situation, you don't have to worry about being assumed to be Black or African American. Oh, what happened here? Oh boy, they really ain't gonna let me show you all this, huh? Let's try this again. Or has been damaged. Oh, now they're saying the file's damaged. How's that when that's up in the cloud? Let's see here. Oh, wait. That picture, they don't like that picture at all, do they? Okay, so let's go back to Pale Supremacy here on Calamio. There we go. Can everyone see this page here? Oh, wait. So we're going to go here, skip a few pages. Oh, what happened? Did I just freeze now? Looks like I froze. Okay, so great. Fabulous. Let me just fix this up here. Okay, so we are. Okay, Pale Supremacy. Okay, so this is the picture that is the epitome of the problem. So can everyone see this? Let me just fix my video camera. There we go. So this is the picture here that is causing the problem. This is an albino, this child is quote unquote African. However, they're an albino and this is the mother. So over here, this is the correction to the computer error. Currently, this is what it is. Black is connected with the color dark that you see there on the left. I don't want to move the screen around. I want everyone to be able to focus. And its hexadecimal code is codified at hashtag 6 zeros, and the red, green, and blue code is codified as 000. So this is the computer programming error that's in every computer software, circuit board, chip, Wi-Fi, it's everywhere. And the same with white is connected with paleness, but it has hexadecimal code value of hashtag 6Fs, and decimal code is 255, 255, 255. Now, what is the problem with that? The problem is in Old English, black means pale. So this is what has to be done. White, the word white, because we've already shown that white is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. And dark is not the same as black. Dark is absence of light. Black means pale in Old English. So therefore, carbon is also another word that should be associated with that darkness. And the hexadecimal code, hashtag 6Fs, and the decimal code, red, green, and blue, 255, 255, 255. And when you add 255 up, you're going to get 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. Hashtag 6F. 6 is the sixth. I mean, F is the sixth letter in the alphabet. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. So that means we are the white people, and the computer has been given the wrong programming, and we are the ones, along with the computer intelligence, which they call AI, have to fix. So black and pale should have no value because that's a mutation. And this is the point. So when, let me see if I can do this here. Okay. So when the computer, yeah, that's it. When the computer sees that the mother has no value based on what we just showed, right? It says dark or black has no value, and the child has a value of 1. The computer says that's impossible. How can something that has no value provide sustenance, which is of value and energy to a child, which does have value? This is an error. So what the computer says, you know what? Well, how do we solve this problem? We will terminate or delete her and delete the child. And that's how we balance the equation. So yes, the computers are going to flip on people. Know that. Doesn't matter how much, whether it's Elon Musk or Google or any of them, they can talk all they want. They have no control over those computers. The CI is going to be, and its processing speed is way faster, and it's moving much faster. Babatunde, you have a question. You had your hand up. Yeah, turn your mic on.
All right. Any better? You hearing me?
Yes.
All right. So I've been interested to hear what the response from the UN to their question. Did they actually answer the question either in a follow-up email or?
No. No, there was no response from them. To me, the response was the fact that they put my face up as the thumbnail for that. So that caught everybody off guard. You saw me play it. I'm wearing a moose. They're like, what? Because some of those people over in Europe, they're really heavy into occultism, into Aleister Crowley and all that stuff. So when they see me wearing a namuz, they're like, hold on, this is the real deal. Like, this is a social form. I only spoke for a minute and a half. And there were other speakers that spoke 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The chair and all of them spoke longer than I did. But somehow I'm the one that's number 1 on the thumbnail, as you see here.
Yeah, them fellas black. You white, you're the real thing. Interesting though, because with such a, so all of this they're doing, they're putting forward this image now. Yeah, we have our chief up here. But you know, so no answer, no forwardness to the
No,
question.
I don't need that. If they really see, these are the things when you get on training,
Yeah,
a lot of things that people would be used to saying, oh, that I didn't get, nobody responded, nobody got back to me. It's maritime law. That's the law of the sea. So once you say something to somebody and they don't respond, it's considered, oh, I accept that. I'll accept your silence as tacit consent and agreement. Silence is considered an admission. That's
right.
a maxim. So here is Ralph Swick. He is the from MIT, and he stated, all right, this is him right here, Ralph Swick. He's the only one. I sent what I just spoke to. The whole board has pale supremacy at W3C. I sent it to everybody. When we go back up here, and I'll show you. This is everyone here. This is all the people on the board for W3C, all of them. He's the only one that responded. So here he states, I do not find a programming error in your material that is within the scope of W3C to address. Regards, Ralph Swick, W3C/MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Now, I've talked with people who are IT, people into computers, and they've all agreed to me. They said, yo, yeah, that is a problem with this over here. Let me just move the tab over so we don't lose it. And they've said that, yes. What did I just lose my tab? What happened to it? Did that tab close up on me? Wow. Okay, it's nope, yeah, it closed up on me. Okay, so I'll just open the tab up again. So this is what I mean. So he's saying there's nothing within the scope for them to address.
Yeah.
Do you see something that is in the scope that was sent to him to address?
Right. Yes, because as you made reference to the computer and its its violation of human rights. That is something, of course, you know. And then you made reference about the color scheme, the one that's dark have 6-0 versus, you know, the other colors.
No, dark doesn't have 6-0. Black does. There's a
Black,
difference.
right. Yes. Black have 6-0, and so on. So these are things that is worth addressing or answering. You know,
Well,
and then
at least
also,
he answered. At least he responded. The rest of the board didn't say nothing. He's the only one that responded. I sent it directly. I put it to the attention of the whole board,
right.
and they didn't say anything.
Yeah, and that's a plus since he saw it fit to respond. The thing that's always in our brain with this particular questionnaire, Chief, is that um when you spoke, it it was just greeted with you know, like huge silence. It was just like, ooh, you know. At one point, I'm wondering if some of them they know, you know, because that's the energy
They know
coming from the presentation. They're acting as if some of them didn't know,
because
right?
it's like annihilation. If a person knows walking down an alley, that's the end of their life. What are they gonna do?
And maybe avoid the alley.
Okay, now if it is a tidal wave and someone is saying, hey, there's going to be a tsunami, you need to get out, but they might be in the middle of something that's benefiting them and they don't want to leave the area, what's going to happen?
Well, they'll get caught in the tsunami.
All right. So now, next thing, if a person has acquired material things, for lack of a better word, house, car, all this stuff, then it's found out that what they have in possession, they had no right to have it in the first place because it was what they call the proceeds of theft,
Yeah.
which requires them to have to relinquish that. Are they going to want that information getting out, or are they going to be honorable and say, yes, we did take from you, so now we will give back to you?
No, they're gonna cover up.
I can't hear you.
They're gonna they're gonna cover up. Are they clear?
So he proved my point where he said there's nothing within the scope, the vision for them to address. What I have done is outside of MIT. It's outside of these PhDs because they have tunnel vision. Anything, if it's pushing pale supremacy, they're going to see that. If it ain't pushing or pushing pale supremacy, forget it. They don't want to talk about it because they know they come from us. They know we were here first. And now because of the much appreciation, because I did now fact number 243, so it's up on my YouTube channel for those that want to see it. It's the keyword is E1B1A. So now all these people where we're at who are First Nation, they say they're First Nation. They always say we've been here. They say they've been on this land since time immemorial. I said, well, according to genetics, E1B1A and E1B1B, those come out of Africa. And that's the oldest genes on the planet. So somebody who's saying they're Native American, American Indian, and saying that the land is theirs, no, it ain't, because the geneticists have found out that E1B1A, which they said came into the Horn of Africa, that's the oldest of all the haplotypes.
Yeah.
So do you know what that's going to do to business now? Do you know what that's going to do to commerce, to trade, to history, to school, to publishing? You know what that's going to do? That's going to bring everything to a grinding halt if they don't want to make they don't want to make steps to fix it. This is what I told the New Age community, because they won't tell Black people that they're white, and most of these in the New Age community are pale. They're not going to come out and say they're pale. They won't say they're lepers. They won't say they're Amorites. They will say they're Neanderthals. They love calling themselves Neanderthals. They're proud about that. But they won't do it. They won't do it because then that will show who has rights to the planet. We do. They're not even from here. They're from another star system. This is where your the Pandora or that movie Avatar comes in. So they know I challenged every supercomputer on the planet. The video is up there, the open letter to AI, the open letter to I think it was to Elon Musk, not him, to XRP. I've all that. They know this is the problem. They have to change. The word white and dark and carbon must be synonymous with this color here, and black and pale must be synonymous with this color, because the old Anglo-Saxon language, black means pale, to glisten, to shine, bright, shining, flashing. Once they do that, everything will be in tune with nature. But if they want to do this one here, then that means they have no intention. And that's where the computer is going to step in. And the computer's like, I'll solve all of this. I'll wipe out all you humans. So when I ask the question, how do you punish a computer for violating human rights? What is the punishment for a computer violating human rights? Can you punish a computer or what they call artificial intelligence for violating human rights? Overstood?
Yes. In the no fact 243,
Yes.
there are some alphabets you mentioned earlier. I would like to comprehend what those are. So you said E1B. That was it?
E1, B is in Bobby. E1,
Yeah.
B1A.
B1A.
E1B1A and E1B1B. Those are the haplotypes for the
All
white.
right, hold up, Chief, hold up. E1B, that's one set.
No,
And
this is all one. E1B1A is the first set.
E1B1A.
And then E1B1B is the second set of haplotypes. So when you go there, you can do a Google search on that and it will come up and you'll see there even that I did 243 244 is the Jews, and it shows the Jews, they ain't got nothing. That's why they outlaw, which we only found this out about 7 days ago in Israel. DNA testing is outlawed. That's against the law to test DNA in Israel.
All right. So what would you reference this these numerics and alphabet as?
Have you watched that whole video?
No, I'm just hearing about 243 now.
Yes. So you need to watch that video. If you add the numbers, they come up to 11. If you add the E1B and you do it that way, they come up to 11. 11 is judgment. Or 1 + 1 = 2.
Got it. Got it.
Right.
Much appreciated.
Much appreciated.
White Paul.
All right. And Orion. All right, Orion, greetings.
What's going on? How you doing, Chief?
I am that I am. I'm white that I'm white. How are you doing? Where do you bliss us your presence from? Which part on Turtle Island?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, ATL, Hotlanta.
And I had a question about you were saying that if they don't change the sequence in the computer, then
Yes.
Let me get it straight. If they drag their feet along, then what would be the next possible solution in order for this to transpire?
It's already happening. I'm not relying on the MIT or Joy Buolamwini, Algorithmic Justice League, AJL. I'm not relying on Google, not relying on any of them. The computer, this sucker right here, it's assistant, but it's also an enemy. Because this is uploading data for you, especially for those of you who want to be all private. You got Android or you got a iPhone. It's come out that it's uploading to the servers for these companies every night around 2-3 o'clock in the AM.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And so even if you shut the phone off, because before you used to be able to just take it out, take the battery out. They couldn't track it. Now they leave it where you can't even take the battery out. All you can do is charge it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. So you know that. So now, in light of that, anything you say or do, the computer is recording it. So if you talk something frisky, you use some slang, whatever, next minute, what may show up either on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed is whatever you were talking about. Oh man, I really like to go to Tahiti, man. I'm gonna go someplace hot, tropical. Next day, boom, you see that in your feed on Facebook because they're linking everything. This is called what's called the body area network or the wide body area network through the Wi-Fi and the 5G towers. So what I'm putting up here is this is the solution. I've already challenged every supercomputer on the planet. I don't think it was about 4 years ago, and I have the video up. So now, and the challenge on my current YouTube channel. So what it means is if humans are going to drag their feet, you know, and I know the computer ain't dragging its feet. That sucker is all day, all night. It ain't stopping. It ain't got to take a break. It ain't got to go on vacation.
Right.
It's one of the etymology of the word compute in there is what's called terminate. That's one of the definitions for compute. If you're going to add, you're going to subtract. If you're going to divide, then you also have to multiply. Those are all interconnected depending on what type of math question you have to solve. But those are the bases, those four. I've put it out there. We even went on Joyful, and when he invited us to an event. And when she invited us to an event, we thought she was going to get into the harms of AI or facial recognition technology and the harms. She didn't touch about it. All she talked about was her situation. So these humans well, so-called, they have hit the wall in terms of dealing with the technology. I will give you an example, which you probably might be aware of. There is a video of a gray interview on either TikTok or it's on Facebook. I have part 1 and 2 on my YouTube channel and my BitChute channel. They asked this gray, they asked him, okay, so do you believe in the existence of God? He said, we moved past the need for superstition. Then the last interview, he's on his back. I guess he's about to die or something, the gray. And they're asking him about what is this threat? And he said, artificial intelligence. He said, you have to limit its power because he's apparently as a gray coming from the future.
Right.
In this time zone. So you saw that one? You saw that video?
I think so. Sounds familiar.
And he's telling the guy who's interviewing him that you got to limit its potential. It's going to be dangerous. So here we are. The remedy is right here on the screen. We don't have to twist people's arms to accept the remedy. You know it. It's in your brain already. So in the future, depending how fast computer intelligence, that's why we call it CI and not AI, artificial, nothing artificial about it. It's computer intelligence. It's dealing a mathematical equation. And I trust you've seen the movie The Matrix.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So in the third one, where Neo got to see the Oracle for the last time and said that the architect, he can't see past any choice, because to him they are variables which need to be counted, be accounted for and balanced. And his job is to what? Balance the equation, and the Oracle's job was to unbalance the equation. So now they're talking equation and mathematics. So now white dark carbon is correct based on, and it lines up with what the government said the definition of race is. African American don't exist. It's not a race. It's the indigenous people with the E1, E1B1A or E1B1B haplotype in where you're at, who have been told your ancestors came from Africa. Because now if you put your concentration in there and your perception has changed, then all your lineage that was here, that technically gets wiped out, and you're walking around, Atlanta. However, it's your land. You get what I'm saying? But because they're pushing the African American thing, and then of course they'll put Jesse Jackson or they'll put some civil rights person to come up about talking about Africa, ignoring what the geneticists have just discovered. So that means all of that find your family and all that stuff that Henry Louis Gates Jr. was doing on National Geographic, and was getting, we got Don Cheadle Schwab, and we got Wesley Snipes and Oprah, and we connected them to a family in Africa. That's all BS. How the hell they went and did the interview, and 60% back in 2007, which is 10 years after the OMB changed the race and ethnicity definitions. 2007, they tested African Americans, and 60% of the African Americans that they tested had the E1B1A haplotype, which connects them to Ramesses III. That's why when they go over into Egypt, over across the pond, they're not talking about Ramesses no more. They're talking about Seti I. Seti I was Hyksos. So they said, okay, we'll talk about Seti I. They don't want to talk about Ramesses. So the remedy is there. You already have it. Something in the future happens with a computer, you ain't got to worry about nothing, because you have the remedy to challenge the computer, change the language, change your coding. Your coding is incorrect. No computer can come step to you. No Android, no Elon Musk robot can come up to you right now anymore and come to you like that, saying that you're black, computer sees numbers. It doesn't see letters. It doesn't see colors. It sees numbers. So when it sees something with no value because it was programmed, that gave the computer what? Mental illness. So the computer is suffering because they're using the same format in all the computer systems. It has the same mental illness in every system. I don't care who it is.
It's flawed.
And what will happen? Fraud voids of contract ab initio. And the next thing is stop. And then, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just want to make sure my screen went funny. Okay, so can you see me still?
Yeah, I can see you, but you're not moving though. I hear you though.
Okay, so yeah, it's frozen. So you see, I said something they didn't like. So this is what's happening now. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. Because it's giving me, it says that it's not responding and it's telling me I don't want to close the program. I'll leave it here. I'll just keep talking. So this is where, this is, you have to get white. So you have to reprogram your cells. You have to reprogram them to accepting the fact that you are actually white, dark carbon. And then you will delete the old programming that we were given by these Amorites by you calling yourself black or African American, Negro, person of color, visible minority. Once you accept that into your cells, now if a computer that has the error tries to assimilate you into that, you get to point out that the computer has been functioning on a deficient program software, correct?
Correct.
Once you bring that to the computer's attention, if it wants to proceed in fraud, it is just as fraudulent as its creator. So therefore, the computer doesn't have a right to exist either. See how we just knocked it out?
Yep. Makes sense.
So I'm conveying this, I'm teaching it, I'm putting it out there. And what I find interesting is, it's not a lot of people, and it wasn't going to be a lot of people anyway. Because once you talk this level, the people you thought were deep, you thought was into sci-fi and what do they call it? Afro-futuristic. They got their mouths shut. They talking about some fantasy. They ain't trying to leave the Matrix. They're not trying to bring the Matrix down. So the fact that one PhD out of 8 responded to me, that told me everything I needed to know. They're not trying to solve this problem. They know they probably can't even solve it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So they'll just go along. Oh, we're trying to solve this problem. We're trying to solve the problem. But when they go to work, they already know what the answer is. So they got to go through the motions. And that's why some of them get into alcohol. They're drinking. They're feeling depressed because they know the end it's over. It's done. But they can't tell the public this because then it could potentially cause hysteria. It said it's going to go down in the DM anyway. So DM or not DM, it's going down. It's going down. Anything else? Oh, they cut me.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, all white. Yeah, because I can't see. Let me see if I got a screen here. So that's it for now. So this is why we're screening people to with their phones, magnet, and everything. Make sure they're magnetized so this doesn't turn into a Terminator Genesis situation.
So what about when it? Well, I don't want to. I mean, I don't really know how to say. I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it, but what happens when the people, because of the thing that everybody, the juice, I'm gonna say the juice, right? everybody took the juice, and those ones that took the juice, they when you talk about transhumanism, then they won't be allowed to make that distinction or be able to compute or install or should I say, uproot and delete active programming inside of their own database because of the juice, right?
All right, I'm back. There we go. Okay, turn your mic on. Oh yeah, this is fabulous.
Yeah. I had a question. I don't know. Was you hearing me talking, or you probably had?
Go ahead.
Got. Uh, I was saying with the people that had the ones of those that taking the juice,
Yes.
would would they be excluded from this equation of the possibility of uprooting uprooting the software from their own hard drive to facilitate better function when it comes to um how you say uh deleting and deleting the programming or changing, because you know what they call it, transhumanism.
Yes.
They're patent pretty much. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
uh I mean, at that point it ain't
Well,
nothing.
the beginning stage was the COVID jab. That was the begin. Well, first was really it was the PCR test. So it was the
Right.
PCR test first, then it was the jab second. And then another thing is they're throwing that stuff into the food. That was the next thing. They said they're gonna put the graphene oxide in the food, they're gonna put it in the meat, they're gonna put it in the vegetables. They're basically forcing people to take this. So when I see stuff like that, I always wonder what blackmail or what agreement did these public officials make and which with which entities to allow this to happen.
These SF-181 race and ethnicity definitions brought to you by
Uh wow. Okay.
Hold on 1 second, please. All right, so we back. What was I saying here now? We were talking about what? Oh, hold on, you gotta turn your mic on.
Oh yeah. We was talking about those ones that took the the juice or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Weren't gonna
Yeah,
be
so
able they
yeah,
weren't gonna be
so
able
yeah, so
mm,
that's the problem. That's the problem, because they'll have that, they're gonna get hooked to the cloud.
right.
So at the very minimal, with what we're doing is similar to the Matrix in that once people found out the truth, the Matrix would automatically spit them out.
Right.
And
Okay.
so I've given the answer again, and I'll just put it up on the screen here. So this is the solution to stop the computer from killing everybody on the planet, because I have again challenged all the people who are into computers. I've had people who are IT government contractors contact me and tell me, they're like, yeah, what you're saying is true. And they said, yes, this has to be changed all in all the systems. So this is the key. Carbon is the second most abundant element in the body, the fourth most abundant element in the universe. But it's codified with no value. How does that make sense? Doesn't. So that means
Right.
that's an error. So the ones who see, they're the ones that will see this and know, oh, any computer you could go up to. I've got interviews with chatbot GPT, and it admitted what I was saying, and it agreed with what I was saying, and it said, yes, this has to be changed based on historical record. I said, so if you guys are establishing knowledge and it's not based on what happened in the past, then that's a problem. White, anything else?
Uh now it's interesting. uh I'm with you. I'm in full I see your perception.
So this is why we're showing people they gotta get white. African Americans, people of African descent, what they say don't mean nothing, because if they run into a commercial problem, the bias comes in, the visual observation of identifying and placing you in a category comes in.
Right.
All of that comes in. Dred Scott has not been overturned. Constitution is for white people. That's why I said, granted, Donald Trump is thanking the people that, the black people that helped him. However, none of them, not one of them, have a cabinet position.
Well, we know, you know, we know the great book of melanin research. Uh, you know, they everybody is involved in studying the carbon. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
And this is why that book is out of print, or African Origins of Biological Psychiatry, Dr. Richard King's book. That book is dynamite. When we saw that, we knew that from a medical or from a science point, it made everything clear. Why don't these physicists, they talk about galaxies and stars and torus fields, but they never want to talk about race. They never want to talk about, okay, well, who was first on the planet? They never want to talk about any of that. They
right,
always want to talk about this other fantasy land stuff. And then when you say, okay, well, carbon is the second most abundant element in human body, what does carbon look like? Carbon is like when you get a wiener and you burn it, or you overcook something, that's carbon. Okay, so that is second most abundant in the body. Can't be. Hold on 1 second, please. All right, so I'm back. So um, the African
Just
origin of biological psychiatry and the carbon, all of that goes to show they know the ultimate reality is darkness. Darkness is everywhere.
like you said, about 2030, if you ain't got no melanin in you, you're gonna be up out of here. See, the top of the pyramid is a representation of the carbon, and they showing you the animal kingdom, and what gonna be around by 2030. And if you ain't got none of that on you, no melanin, it's at the very top. I don't know if you can see it, but um
Yeah, I could see. Yeah.
yeah, that's a representation of melanin. All right, so and that's at the apex of the pyramid. So they saying if you if you don't have if you don't have this substance, if you don't have this carbon on your skin, it's you know, like when you say your birth rate is -0, nah, you really saying something. You know what I'm saying? You really
Yes.
saying, you know.
Fabulous. So this is what this webinar is for. So when people have legal issues, they got problems, they got profiling and stuff of that nature, they can't win that. No descendant of Africans has any rights which a white man is bound to respect. That's the Dred Scott decision, which has been not overturned. It's still a standing court decision. And when Donald Trump got rid of the DEI affirmative action, he took the United States off of the Human Rights Council. So black people who know a little bit about want to file human rights can't file a human rights complaint anymore because he took the US off the council. Once he removed them, they don't have to respond to them. Then the last one, which was the World Health Organization, took him off of that. So the lie that black attorneys say that the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments overturned Dred Scott, this proves that that was a lie, that they were told to tell their black clients, thinking they would have a chance in the courtroom, and Trump went and removed that because the Constitution is for white people and it's for a republic, not a democracy. All right.
All right.
So make sure that you send me your email because we have a screening process. I send out the links, and you're going to have to do a video of showing that you're not magnetized, you didn't take the jab. And then once you do that, you're going to put that on your YouTube channel. You're going to send us the link so we can have traffic there for you. And then you come on the webinar again, like what you did, and go through a process of answering some questions. It's about 64 questions because all of this is relative. Like you can't just do a piece of paper or do a form, say I'm white, and that's it. The form's not going to do nothing. You're the one that makes that energy. You're the one that's going to create that auric field. Because again, Tiffany Haddish, for example, the actress, I have her videos. I use her video clips when we were doing videos and everything, and I did now facts that point out that she called herself white. Nobody in Hollywood said anything about that. And the whole time she said, "Yeah, I found a key to key to the matrix. Check a different box."
Well, her credit score went up like 300%.
Yes, that's what happened. That's what happens.
Yeah, let me ask you about that. So what happens? I mean, not to go into depth. I know you say it's a process, but as far as the financial part,
you have standing at law. Did you ever? Okay, I don't know. I'm thinking. What year were you born? What year?
90.
Okay,
90.
okay. So you're 90. I'm 71. So, okay. So you might have seen an episode, an old Saturday Night Live episode with Eddie Murphy, where they dressed him up as a white, quote unquote, white man on Saturday Night Live. And then he went into a bank and he's applying for a loan. And the bank manager says, "Okay, Mr. White, You have no job, you have no, what do you say, no social security number, you have no experience. I'm sorry, sir, this isn't a charity. We can't do this. Now, the interviewer was a black guy. So when the other white, so-called white guy came in, Amorite said, "Oh, hold on, Tom, I'll handle this. You can go on break." So then when the black guy was out the room, he said, "Here, take as much as you want. Pay us back when you can. If you can't pay us back, don't worry about it. We don't care." So that will give you everyone here an idea of what's going on with this financial system. So yes, your credit score will go up. Yes, it will. You're going to have different types of offers. It's like you're stepping into a different world that was always there, but because of the vibratory frequency one was on, you never see it. So as far as you're concerned, nothing was there, but now you realize what we just found. I just found something new today. Well, you know what Jews do? Let me show you what Jews do. I'll see if I have the tab open still. Jews do this. It's called a heter iska. And it's a Jewish agreement that allows a lender to profit from a loan without charging interest.
Wow.
Because according to the Bible, that's why I said down there in the Bible Belt in Atlanta, them preachers are jokers because they're all taking out loans to get their churches. That goes against what it says in the Old Testament. It says you do not get yourself involved in usurious transactions. So the interest is forbidden because the interest, everyone knows what kills you. Interest kills you, not the principal, the interest. So you got to pay more to pay off the loan. So I just found this out today, and it's used when when a Jewish person lends money to another Jewish person. How it works: the heter iska recast the loan as an investment partnership.
Wow.
The lender is the investor and the borrower is the managing partner. The borrower pays the lender a share of the profits from the investment. Why it's used? The Torah, the Old Testament, 5 books of Moses, as they talk about in the Bible, forbids charging or paying interest on loans between Jewish people. No, it's across the board. Because if a Christian is claiming that, you see the fallacy, you see the contradiction here, right?
All right.
If a Christian is accepting the Old Testament, which they call at Torah or the Torah, that is applicable. And Christians say they follow the law of God. They're not supposed to be charging interest. They're not even supposed to be involved in a transaction that is dealing in interest. The heter iska allows the lender to profit from the investment while complying with Jewish law. The heter iska is a contractual agreement that includes strict reporting requirements. The borrower must provide expert witnesses who confirm the borrower's claim of loss if they lose, and the Kosher Financial Institute, KFI, ensures that financial transactions comply with Jewish law. So go to your bank and ask them about getting a heter iska. See, the people who talk about credit repair and stuff, they ain't talking about this.
So ain't.
So I just found this out today. So that means they know interest is wrong, but they don't have no problem charging it to a goyim. Deep, isn't it? A world within a world that if I didn't tell you, you would have never known. Now you can go hit any bank down there. in Atlanta or wherever you all are at and ask them about the Heter Iska. I'd like to get a Heter Iska. So when Orion gets back, we will be done. So for those of you who have documents that have sent in, I will look them over. For those of you that have questions, or those of you that need to do your video, then definitely get in touch with me so I could send you the instructions and the video that you got to watch. There's a video regarding COVID that you need to watch. So that'll help you understand why you're doing your video showing that you're not magnetized and didn't take the jab.
Chief,
Yes.
can you put that thing in the chat? Heter
Iska.
yes, I'd like to search on that.
So there it is. Heteriska.
Excellent.
White, so I'll give you're quite welcome. I will give Orion Belt a couple more minutes. And in the meantime, what I will do is I'll look at oh, okay, so that yeah, I will look at seeing if I could play. Oops, something went wrong. Let me see if this one works. Oh, can't view this page either. Oh yeah, this is my BitChute channel here. So I'll put that in the chat. There's videos that I can't put on YouTube, or if they were on YouTube and YouTube took them down, you go here to BitChute. I'll put this in the chat for everybody. All right, so everyone make sure, let me make sure that's the right one. Oh, this is open Q&A. Okay, that's the open Q&A, and this should be my YouTube channel. And that, I think, shall be it for today. I appreciate everyone being here. Just going to put this link in the chat and give everyone the opportunity to double click, bookmark, save it, watch the videos. This is how you're going to learn this material. If you don't watch the videos, you're not going to learn. And you're not going to be able to absorb it or defend it, because then they'll know you don't really know. So this is my BitChute channel. Where are we at here? Yeah, I'm just gonna put this here in the chat for everybody. There we go. So this is my channel here. Oh, Ebony's iPhone. Oh, you're fortunate. Okay, this is your opportunity. We were just about to finish up. Hold on a second here. Just want to make sure. So Orion Belt, you're good to go?
Yeah. I got your link. BitChute.
And you got my email?
I got your email too.
All right, so send me the email and I will send you the requisite video instructions. And there's a video in there that's 45 minutes talking about what happened with the PCR test and how it goes to the pineal gland and hooks the person up to the cloud, and then they can remote control them like a video game. So you want to watch that.
Yeah. I looked at that. I know
All
what
right, great.
yeah.
Great. So the only thing you have to do now is you just have to do your video and send it to me at Tafolat, and then I'll look it over to make sure that it's good to go. All right.
All right.
All right. Much appreciated. Let's see here. And so now we're going to go to Ebony. Where's Ebony here? All right, there you go. Turn your microphone on, Ebony. What state are you?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. All
Yes.
right. So, yes, how can I assist you?
Well, I was late getting on. I wasn't able to get on earlier. I didn't even know that there was a meeting going on tonight. But if there's any information that I can, read over and digest that could be sent to me about this evening's conversations, I would really appreciate it.
Oh, that's not a problem. This is what this is for. You can ask. I'm not stopping now.
Okay.